This is a 1960 Chevrolet Impala 4-door sports sedan. This is an original Chicago area survivor. Right down to the original paint. It's been buffed and polished to revitalize it. But that is all 1960 right there, including the chrome. And this car also has the correct bias ply white wall tires. The 7.50 by 14s with the correct Impala wheel cover. Another characteristic to late 50s, early 60s cars are the panoramic windshields, like this one. This car kind of has an added little feature here. This decal from 1960 when Richard Nixon ran for president. So it's really kind of the perfect decal because this car is also a 60, as 1960 was an election year. And if you know your history, you'll know that John F. Kennedy won that year. We also have a panoramic rear window, which is kind of nice. You basically have no blind spots. You have nice, easy visibility all the way around the car. And they called this the flat top, which was kind of a typical characteristic in the 59 and 60 GM models. Another feature of the 60 Impalas is this jet emblem. It's got the white contrail that follows behind it all the way to the end. The racing flags. And the cursive Impala emblem. But this is the toned down version of the 59s. Looking at the back end here, you can see that the horizontal fins are a little more flat this year. On the 59s, they were flared up on more of an angle, and they had those cat's eye taillights. I like both models very much. So they both got their unique features, so that's what makes them special. Can't like one and hate the other. 60 Impalas also had the 3 taillights on each side. You had the reverse light, which did not exist on the Bel Airs that year. So it kind of made the back end look a little nicer. And depending on how well you know Chevys, just by looking at that emblem there, you should be able to tell what kind of engine this car has. But here's the dealership where it was bought new. Burgle Chevrolet in Cicero. They're at 52nd and Cermak. They're long gone. They've been gone since probably about the mid-80s. But they were a big Chevrolet dealership in the western suburbs. I try to put that on all my cars. I've always been a supporter of the American auto industry, and as long as there is an American auto industry, I will always support it by buying American. Look how wide these doors are. These things have got to be 8 to 9 inches. Very well built, very solid. I've had this car since October 4th of '02. The previous owner had the seat belts put in because he had kids, and from what he told me, his wife wanted everybody to be safe when they were in this car. Even though this car really doesn't have many safety features at all. I guess that was kind of a bonus. But the carpeting I put in this past spring, the original was pretty well faded, and yeah, it was pretty wrecked. Nice solid sound there. Feels good to close. Here's the interior. We've got the all-metal dashboard. And we got the factory AM push-button radio. I got that thing restored and working this past summer. It's a tube-type radio with a solid-state output. Got new Sprague orange drop capacitors in there. That thing works great with those, with the original antenna. No modification at all. And there's our mileage, which I believe is original, 64,729. And we also have the original clock movement. You may have heard it pop a few times. It's got the mechanical points set. So I got that thing cleaned and lubed, and that thing holds time quite nicely. Got the original good old floor vents. And your crank vent windows. It's got a nice powerful sounding horn too. And here's one of the best parts. The original 6-cylinder engine. The 235 cubic inch High Thrift 6. Formerly known as the Blue Flame 6. This motor was introduced by Chevrolet in 1938. And it is virtually the exact same engine in 1960 as it was in 1938. It's a torquey little motor. The thing runs great. And it's all cleaned up. I pulled the body off the frame over the winter, and I detailed the chassis and put some new front suspension parts on. You can see we got the Delco Remy generator, stainless brake lines, all cleaned up and degreased. Trying to keep it look like it would at the factory. So let's start it up. Got the flashing brake light because we got 3-speed on the column. So you got to engage your parking brake. It's got manual brakes too. About as basic as you can get. So here it is. The High Thrift 6. When these things are tuned up and running right, they run like sewing machines. The only thing this car really needs to make the engine compartment stock more original looking is the Delco tar-top battery. But otherwise I got it pretty original down to the hose clamps. next video, we're going to take it for a drive around the block. So be sure to watch the second part of the video for the '60 Impala 4-door sports sedan.